The protests in Egypt continue to grow more intense by the day as citizens rally for a change in leadership. Several American tourists have been encouraged to return home in the midst of growing hostility. Gina Bartee spoke with a local missionary who spent a year in Egypt and is looking to return soon.
For Barbara Davis, watching the violence and chaos unfolding in Egypt has hit home.
Initially, I was over there for 8 months, and then I returned home and went back over again. And so I just returned back here in November. And actually, I was scheduled to leave on the 14th to return back to Egypt for another 2 months.
Her recent one-year missionary trip to Alexandria, Egypt, has caused her concern for the safety and well-being of the families and women she has grown to love.
One of the pastors that I spoke to on Saturday night, he said about 200 young people, men, came to their area to take over their streets and to vandalize their cars and their homes. Then they had a group of men to fight them, and they actually battle-eyed each other in the streets to keep those guys from coming into their neighborhoods.
She says all cell phone and internet communications have been shut down, but a landline connection enabled her to talk to some who say they are terrified of the violence.
Everyone is just frightened. The women are not leaving their homes. The fathers and husbands and brothers now have formed what we call these little militia groups. Not militia, that's a negative term, but neighborhood watch groups. I think that's more appropriate to protect their communities. And one of the challenges they're facing right now is that all of the ATM machines in their areas have been damaged. So they're unable to get money. Some of the stores that are open, the markets, they're only letting 1 or 2 persons in at a time. The shelves are very empty. Some of the women, I talked to Linda this morning about 3 o'clock in the morning, and a couple women in their neighborhood had been raped. And so it's just great fear.
Expressing their desire for political change, her friends understand the frustration, but without violence.
They think it's time to have a new president there. They think it's time for their votes to be recognized, but they just don't like the violence.
And for Barbara, her commitment to return is stronger than ever.
The American churches and the American people are praying for them. We sympathize with them, and that I will return. I will return.
Gina Bartee, CTV News.
Barbara Davis is the former missions director of New Song Bible Fellowship Church in Bowie.